Yeah, I like the energy. He coming up here with his big Carolina gear. I like the energy. Yeah,
Pew,
you
pew,
know
pew,
what?
pew.
Yo, this is the Zone Sports Podcast.
We here.
We here. And look, we could get into a lot of big Carolina talk, even though
Yeah.
we lost last night. We're gonna save that, you know what I mean, for a little later, maybe, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we got a guest today. We got a legend, you know what I mean? Someone that you ain't even gonna expect to be on this podcast,
Mm.
but yet a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduced the legendary DJ Kool. Let me admit him. Here we go. Hold on, hold on.
Pew, 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 pew.
Hold up. Let me see what's going on. Here you go. Hold up.
Yes, sir.
That go the legend. That go the legend. Let's get some. Hey, let's make some noise for the legend one
Can I do
time.
the human air horn for Mr. DJ
We
Kool?
got we gotta do the human air horn for DJ Kool.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, you know what? Zoom might ain't pick that up, but you know what? We here. He get the point. You know what I mean? Pew, pew, pew for my guy, DJ Kool, man. How you
Yes, sir.
doing, man? How you doing,
I'm
man?
blessed, man. What's happening?
Yo, man, listen, man. We know you might not be too familiar with the Zone Sports Podcast, but of course, you know me. I go by Big V. That's my guy Corey over there. He never telling the same old time story.
Never.
You know what I mean. So, yo, man, yo, let me just start from the top, man. Thank you for just joining us for real, for
Thank you, my
real.
brother.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Man, when we did that clip, you know what I'm saying, on the sports pod where I tagged you in, we didn't even expect it to reach you. We didn't even expect you to see it. We just going off straight spirit, man, and just talking about what we talking about because we used to be a music podcast because I'm an artist. I'm a videographer. I do a lot. You know what I mean? So we used to just be straight music. But the sports and the music always tie together. You know what I mean? So we normally start the pod off just with some music talk. You know what I mean? And you just came up out of the blue. You know what I mean? Yo, man, what's going on with you, man? How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man. Thank y'all for having me on your program. Shout out to what's his brother name wearing all the Carolina blue stuff.
That's my boy Corey right there, man.
Shout out to Corey, man. I'm a Carolina fan. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
way back,
here
way
we
back. Like,
go.
hey,
Here
look, Phil Ford and all that, way
Hey,
back.
Charlie Scott and all those guys.
Right, I go way back.
There you go.
Hey, look, we Carolina boys. We born and raised in Kinston, North Carolina, to be exact. You know what I mean? So we in Carolina right now. We born in Blair, Carolina. I'm in Winston Salem. My boy out there, he out there in Burlington. We holding it down, man. You know what I mean? And like it was crazy because man, just going back to just how we just stumbled upon you, we were just being silly, you know what I mean? And it just sparked a conversation of what your music has just done from generation to generation, man. But I want to start, man, at the beginning of just your career, like just you, period. Look, my guy, he got the CD back there. You know what I mean? That's how much as we fan. We been fucking with DJ Kool over here. You know what I mean?
Hey, mean it.
Thank you.
You know what I
Thank you. I
mean?
appreciate you.
But
Um,
how was it
my
growing up in
journey.
DC, man? How was it growing up in
I'm
DC?
sorry.
Like, how was it
I'm
growing up
sorry.
How was it growing up in DC?
Great, man. I wouldn't have liked to have grown up in any other place because that is the place that made me who I am. If I was to have been raised anywhere else, then you would have you most definitely would have got a whole different version of me. You know what I mean? Musically and otherwise. So I had a great childhood growing up, man. My childhood was full of sports. Played a lot of sports under the whistle, a lot of organized sports, 4 different sports to be exact, football, baseball, basketball, and I ran a little track. My primary sports were probably, I would say, basketball and baseball in that order. You know what I mean? So once upon a time, before my musical dreams came into play, my thing was I'm going to college and I'm going to be the starting point guard for either University of Maryland playing for Lefty Driesell, uh,
Word.
Georgetown playing for John Thompson, or North Carolina playing for T. Smith. That, That was my sports dream. But
So
God was like, nope, we're not doing that. But you will be in those arenas one day, but not as an athlete. Okay. So the music thing took over. Um, but yeah, man, I started my musical journey in 1977 as a DJ. I've been a DJ professionally since 1977. Um, and I played in just about every club that was playing urban music in the metropolitan area. You know what I'm saying? Here in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, as the kids nowadays call the DMV. You know what I mean?
right.
Um, I started as an artist in 1986. My first single was a song called "The Music Ain't Loud Enough." Pump up the volume. 1986.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first single that was produced coming out of this area using all samples, sampling actual go-go music, but arranging it like a hip hop record. So once
Okay.
again, Music Ain't Loud Enough came out in 1986.
Mm.
I had a bunch of singles that came out after that consecutively. 1987, What the Hell You Come In Here For? 1988, How Low Can You Go? A bunch of songs all the way up to the song that I'm most known for in 1996, which is Let Me Clear My Throat.
Well, like,
Um,
how did you get signed? Because I know you were signed to a couple of labels like SOH, Creative. I know you were signed to like CLR at 94 and things like that. How did your first record deal come about?
okay, so the first label was a record label called Creative Funk Music,
Creative Funk.
CFM. They were distributed by Selecto Hits, which was
SOH,
a
yeah.
distribution company and a label that was in, I think they out of Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. Um, that deal came about because of a guy, excuse me, rest in peace, named Deke DeBerry. He was a independent record promoter back in those days, and back then we used to have guys that used to work for these different record labels independently, and they would come around to the clubs and service all the DJs. Look, here's a stack of records this week, and you play what you want, that type of thing. So he would always come and see me at a club I was working at a particular time. A club I was working at in 1982 called The Room. Once again, I started working at clubs in how can I say? I was a mobile DJ for the first 2 years, working for a company called The Sound Service. 77 to 79. 1979, I started working in the clubs. By 82, it was a club called the Paragon 2, which was in the northwest section of Washington, D.C. at the time. By 1982, the Paragon 2 was closed. I was then working at a club called The Room. This is where I met Deke DeBerry.
Okay.
And to make a long story short, he was like, man, have you ever done any work in the studio? I said, well, I've been in there a couple of times working with a few independent artists. He said, well, I want you to come in the studio and do a mix for an R&B group that he had at the time called 0 Hour. So we in the studio and I'm working with the mix engineer on the mix for the record. And he says, you ever thought about making records yourself? I say, well, yes. I said, the reason why I became a DJ is because I wanted to use that as a stepping stone to become an artist. So I went home that night, and I guess it's kind of like Prince says, I was dreaming when I wrote this. So what song is that? 1999, I think it is. And I dreamt up all the samples, the whole arrangement, all the lyrics and everything to my first single, which was, again, called The Music Ain't Loud Enough.
Okay.
Pump up
Yeah.
the volume.
Yeah.
And put that together. Record came out. First record coming out of this area as far as hip hop is concerned to chart Billboard in 1986. Somewhere on the Hot 100.
Hold
chart
on, DJ.
somewhere.
Hold on. We gotta stop and clap for that. We gotta stop and clap for that one time, because that is not to be glossed over. My man is talking heavy right now. You know what I mean? He being humble about it, but Corey, he talking heavy. He making it known. Yeah, I'm the first. You know what I mean? Just in case
There
you
you
might know, I'm the
He ain't
first.
lying.
He ain't lying. You know what I mean? I love it. But this is crazy because, like, I don't think a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people know you for let me clear my throat.
Right.
But people often forget you work with Red people like Redman too. You was on the Let's Get Dirty, right?
Let's Get Dirty. Yes, sir.
That was way after Clear My Throat. That was
Right,
2001.
right, of course, right,
That
right.
was 2000.
How the like. Well, first of all, let's talk about let me clear my throat for a minute because I did some knowledge on this, man. You tested this out live at a club in Philly.
Well, we performed. Okay, let's see. 1994. Let's go to
Okay,
1994 first.
okay.
I recorded a song called 20-Minute Workout.
Right.
Yes,
Oh, come on,
sir.
come on. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
That was the first live recording that I ever did.
Okay.
I did that at a club that I used to work at. I was working at a club in Richmond, Virginia called Ivory's Uptown Lounge.
Shout out to Richmond.
Right? And shout out to Steve Branch and all the people down in that 804 area code area.
Mm-hmm.
Make a long story short, I was playing the 900 number one night. And so I'm going back and forth with the crowd, and some actually got caught in my throat. Don't ask me what, don't ask me how. It just happened. I was coughing, and I just kind of arbitrarily came up with the line from an old Beastie Boys performance when they say, "Let me clear my throat, it's the new style." On and on and on and on. They were introducing a song that they were about to do for a live performance. So once again, we recorded the record because it's a lot to that story as to how Let Me Clear My Throat came into existence. But I recorded a 20-minute workout routine that night. I recorded a snippet of what Let Me Clear My Throat became. And the record came out. I got a call from an on-air personality at the time I was working in Philadelphia that went by the name of Don Mystic Mac.
Okay.
He said, "Cool, you got these people going crazy over this go-go record that you put out up here in Philly." He said, "Well, they really going off of whatever you was doing over the 900 number." He said, "You need to come up here and see what's going on." So I came, Power 99 had this big radio show. Shout out to DJ Rand. He was the DJ that was playing intermission for the show. So he rocking joints. He dropped a snippet of what Let Me Clear My Throat became. The only thing that I recorded initially was the track, which was the 900 number, and what became the hook. You know what I mean?
Right.
I seen the response to what was going on. And to make a long story short, I said, "All right, dang, you know how you get that little light bulb up?"
Of course, yeah.
Right? All right, boom, let me go ahead and make this a song. Wrote out the routine. My manager, Walt Reeder Jr., say, "Cool, I got a show booked for you up here in Philly at a place called Bahama Bay." It was a club up there, but they did this outdoor event. It was like a beach party type thing out on their parking lot. They brought sand out there, all kind of crazy stuff.
Okay.
We recorded the song live out there, one take, which is all my live records I do in one take, and we'll get to that part in a second. But we recorded Let Me Clear My Throat in one take. Record came out, and the rest is God's blessings and history.
Yo, let me tell you, man. And Corey, I don't know if you even knew. Like my whole life, I thought that was maybe like just studio effects, like of like a live crowd. I did not know you was actually doing that on stage, and it made it a single. Corey, I mean, did you know that, man? Like, how did you feel, man?
Like, it was definitely recorded live, but I understand where your doubt comes from because it sounds so perfect. It sounds so perfect, right?
He one taked it. He said he came on there and one take the single.
I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all.
Dog, he one. So you want to take 20-minute workout too? Oh, hey, this guy, dog.
We want to take 20-minute workout. We did 20-minute workout in one take. We did I Got That Feeling in one take. Shout out to the people of Baltimore, Frank Ski and friends out there at a place called Hammer Jacks. We did obviously Let Me Clear My Throat in one take. Me and Fat Man Scoop did when I flipped It Takes Two by Rob Bass.
Yeah,
Me and Fat Man Scoop, rest in peace.
Yeah,
We did that in
Rest in
one
peace.
take in Tampa, Florida. So all these live records, you gotta do them in one take. I even shot the video for Let Me Clear My Throat live. We did that live at a club in Philadelphia called Gotham's. And let me tell you a real quick story about that. So it's time to shoot the video, and I want to kind of do like a little remix or what have you. So that's why I brought in Bismarck, rest in peace, and Dougie Fresh, two very, very good friends of mine from the late 80s. Video director's like, well, where's the track? I said, we about to record the track live. He was like, what are you talking about? I said, listen. I said, all you got to do is keep that camera on me, Biz, and Dougie. That's all you got to do. Basically, the only thing that he was doing was recording the live performance. We're not going to do a show over and over and over again. You know what I mean?
Right, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just gave everybody their cues when to start. We started. He got the whole first take from the performance. Then I say, now you got your track in the can. Now go back, use what you just recorded as playback for the rest of the B-roll footage.
Hey,
Edison, let's go. Even the parts that Biz and Dougie done, these was freestyles. Nothing was written.
What?
Biz and Doug came to the video shoot that day, and they were like, cool, what we doing? I said, Biz, I need 8 bars from you. Dougie, I need 8 bars from you. I've been rocking with these dudes since the late 80s. Like, we know one another, you know what I'm saying? And we some old school dudes. So I'm doing a little something, and I'm going to pass you the mic.
Corey,
and then I'm going to let you do what you do, and I'm going to take it back. And then I'm going to do a little something. I'm going to pass you the mic. It's old school hip hop.
Corey, my man was not only being the star of his own video, he was directing his own video as well. This is crazy. With legends on the set. Yo, man, this is crazy. You brought up Fat Man Scoop. I gotta ask you, do you often get comparisons to Fat Man Scoop? Do people say you were the Fat Man Scoop before Fat Man Scoop? Or what are your thoughts on that? Is the voice, you know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you what Fat Man Scoop used to say. And I've heard him, he told me this in my face, and I've heard him say this publicly several times.
Okay.
He said that me and Dougie were his father and grandfather in this, as far as what he does. Fat Man Scoop, I met Scoop probably around 96 when Clear My Throat came out, and he told me a story about how he first heard Let Me Clear My Throat. He said he was in the tunnel one night listening to DJ Big Cat. Back then, everybody was spinning vinyl, right? So the record going off in the club, and he said he came to the DJ booth, and he thought Cap was on the mic. You know, Big Cap used to rock the mic too. You know what I mean? Big Cap was not on the mic. His back was turned, you know, to his turntables. He was in his crates getting ready, you know, put another record on.
Right.
So he like, yo, Cap, what is that? He say, man, you ain't never heard that? That's DJ Kool. He from DC. This and that. He said, damn, I didn't know you can make records like that. He said, we've been rocking like that in the clubs. You know what I mean? He said, but I didn't know you can make them type of records. So somehow or another, there's another part of this story, whereas Brooklyn Clan and Fat Man Scoop, I think they were already working together. Brooklyn Clan, shout out to DJ Riz and DJ Scissorhands. I think it was DJ Riz. I had a meeting with him maybe a few years after in Florida over breakfast. And he was like, man, the reason why we made that record that we made with Scoop is because we were trying to emulate what you did on Let Me Clear My Throat. And they told me the whole story, how they got with Scoop. Yo, I need you to do what DJ Kool doing and blah, blah, blah. And so they came out with the first single called Hands Up. And then shortly after that, they came up with his hit, Be Faithful. But here's a fun fact. See, a lot of people don't know Fat Man Scoop used to rhyme. Fat Man Scoop was from Harlem. So Fat Man Scoop used to rhyme like Cameron and Mason them like he was on this, you know what I mean? But Scoop was like, that wasn't matching up with who he actually was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, he talking all this, you know, this street stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, Scoop dancing and clowning and whatnot. I say, so, yo, he ain't want nobody to come check him. So he said, let me just start doing what I see Dougie and them do. Mm-hmm.
It worked out for him,
and that's
too.
how he came to do the hype man thing. But I really, really miss Scoop.
Yeah.
I miss Biz.
Yeah.
And I keep them with me. I really do keep them with me. I really, really, really miss them cats.
Man, speaking of, you know, people and legends that you work with that have passed on, yo, how was it working with Macho Man? You know, we big wrestling fans over here. I've been doing my homework on. You know, I say, yo, man, I gotta do the knowledge on the legend. I didn't even know you even worked with Macho Man. I went and listened, and I actually forgot I had the record mad long ago. I forgot. How was that? Like, was y'all? Because back then, y'all had to be in the studio together, right?
Yes. Well, okay. The way that came about. Shout out to my man Khalid. He was part of a group that was called KO Productions. He's from here, but he live in Tampa, Florida nowadays.
Okay.
Where Randy Savage was actually from, which wasn't even his real name, and we're not gonna get into that. We're just gonna call him Macho Man Randy Savage, as the world knows him.
Right.
But KO got in contact with me and said, "Yo, Kool, you know, I'm down here working with the Macho Man." I said, "Get out of here, Macho Man. What is you talking?" Now, I'm a wrestling fan too, right? Of that particular, matter of fact, even before that era, but definitely during that era, my man was Randy Savage. And I'm like, man, get out of here. He said, yo, we working on a project, and he dissing Hulk Hogan and all that. I'm like, what? For real? So then we came up. He invited me down, and we did a song called Hit the Floor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I got a chance to spend a lot of time with the Macho Man. And let me tell you, he was exactly how you see him when you see him on TV. Yeah, all that. Same thing. Exact same thing. Real good dude. I found out that his entry into sports was baseball. He was actually a pro baseball player.
Word.
And he threw his elbow out. Okay.
I never knew this.
Yeah, he played pro ball. I think he was playing for the Cardinals or something, like he was in their farm club system. Yeah. Wow. So he was about to go in the big leagues, and when had he messed his arm up, he'd have been a big leaguer. Yep.
That's crazy.
But that happened. He switched over to wrestling, and the rest is history. But a great guy, man. Great guy.
I know that studio session was crazy, man.
Well, he wasn't. Was he there? I don't think he was there when we recorded that.
Okay.
I think it was just me and KO. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He already had the track. Yo, cool, here it is. And so we sat down, wrote everything. I wrote my verse. The hook was already done. I just covered the hook, and song came out. I did like a little radio promo tour with him. We flying on private jets, going to all these little pop radio stations and whatnot. That, more so promote wrestling and, that type of thing. So we didn't go to any urban radio stations because, it just was that thing. Right. But I had a great time with that dude, man. Great guy. Randy Macho Man Savage, man. Rest in peace for real.
Man, would you say you are the first to actually record an entire debut album live? Can you take the credit for that? The first?
Probably.
The
only other live record that I know of in hip hop was Run DMC Live at the Funhouse, and that was a single. That wasn't a whole album.
You did a whole entire live album, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Can we clap? Yo, that's crazy, right? Like you carved the lane back then. You didn't even know you was carving the lane. But man, I got when you actually, when you performing this record, right? Tell us what the ladies was doing in the crowd. We know what the ladies. We know when they dropped it on our radio station or at our parties. We seen what the ladies was doing at a young age. The young girls doing. It still go crazy right now. 20-minute workout, come on. It's game over. Let me clear my throat, come on. It's game over. I know you know this, but like your records are up there with like, and this ain't even like, I know people might hear this and be like, oh man, that's crazy, but we talking about legendary records. Your records are up there with things like the Electric Slide. Do you know that? You know what I mean? Like like this your joints are timeless, like timeless. Like
And
even
they still get played, Big V, on our station out here, 97.1. I hear you, DJ Kool, every week.
yes,
Wow.
They play the Let Me Clear My Throat remix up here every week. I heard it just as much as I did in 1996.
and what
That is my favorite version, by the way. The version that I did with Biz and Dougie. That's my personal favorite version.
Wow.
People have their, their preferences or whatever, but for me, it's the live version or the remix version because both versions were actually live.
you talk to us about how the ladies was going crazy. Let's talk about that night in Philly. What was the scene, DJ Kool? Like take us there for a minute, man.
I got a great story for that one that a lot of people don't know, and I didn't even know this for many, many years. So the part when I first say freeze and I'm talking to the ladies, right? Years after the song came out, I was flipping through YouTube and I seen Eat My Pee at what, 2:15 or something like that, some little timestamp or something that they had. And I'm like, what is they talking about? So I go through the video and I go to that part that they talking about. What they were trying to get me to notice, or what they were trying to get people to notice, was this. When I say freeze, and right before I was going into my little routine about to all the ladies in the place, blah, 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 some ladies say, eat my pee. I don't know who said that. I didn't hear it that night. It was way out in the crowd, but it's very, very faint. And when I heard that, I'm like, what? So eventually, I think maybe because of YouTube, I think they kind of edited that part out. But for many, many years, that part had to be playing on mainstream radio and nobody heard it because it was just real faint. I don't know who was listening to that record that hard to hear something like that. I'm like, what?
The internet undefeated.
So that happened,
man.
yeah, on that night. I'm sorry?
I said the internet undefeated. They gonna find anything, man.
Yeah, people be listening.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I know the ladies was in there going absolute. They still are. Like you can't go to a concert these days and the DJ before the opener come on. They're not like they still be spinning that. Like they still get the crowd going with that, and it still works to this day, man.
And it is, man.
I appreciate it.
And I tell you what, man, the energy that you are able to capture is unlike no other. Like, I listen to groups like the Junkyard Band, Rare Essence, right? The Northeast Groovers. And it just makes me wish that I was there when it was recorded, because it's really true that energy never dies, man. And it just keeps going. Like, it keeps going. And I love, even on one of your first albums, the music ain't loud enough, where because I do feel like we're from the South, so we always have to get educated to the DMV, where house and go-go, they kind of get put in a similar category. But I remember on your first album, the music ain't loud enough, where it's like, oh no, this house originated in Chicago. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what?
Some people say Chicago, some people say New York. So you really got to do your homework on that one. You know what I mean? I guess if you're talking to people from Chicago, when they get to talking about the warehouse and the fact that the music was called house music because of the music that was being played in the warehouse, you know what I mean? But then we talking about the DJs from New York that went to Chicago and started playing this music. I guess a whole thing around that. So we're going to give New York and Chicago their flowers for the creation of that particular music. But go-go, which is just half for what I do. If you hear my music is a hybrid sound, if you could say. half of me is hip hop and half of me is go-go. So that's why songs like Music Ain't Loud Enough and What the Hell You Come In Here For, I'm sampling beats from go-go records, but I'm also sampling snippets from hip hop records and arranging them like hip hop records. You know what I mean? So let's talk about Music Ain't Loud Enough real quick. It's three go-go music samples in that particular song right off the top. The beats that you hear with the percussions, that is from a song by EU, which y'all know from a song Doing the Butt.
Doing the Butt.
Yeah,
It's a song called The Cabbage Patch.
Of course.
That was one of their earliest singles. The part that goes da-na, da-na, right there, that comes from Junkyard Band, Sardines.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
If you listen to the hook, Music Ain't Loud Enough, Pump Up the Volume, which was me and my god sisters, by the way, that was saying that hook. If you listen to the music that's playing up under there, that is a sample from Trouble Funk, Drop the Bomb.
Wow.
So there's 3 go-go music samples in that particular song. Same thing with What the Hell You Come In Here For. I was using a lot of let me see, What the Hell You Come In For. I use Drop the Bomb, and I think I use some of it was a Trouble Funk sample. I think I was using a Trouble Funk sample through the whole song for the most part, as far as go-go is concerned. The other stuff was Public Enemy and this and that. So I get my whole production style, speaking of Public Enemy, I get my whole production style from the Bomb Squad, which is Keith and Hank Shockley. They are my favorite production team.
They are awesome. Period.
Public Enemy is my favorite hip hop group, period. Not to get, too far off the track or what have you, but yeah, while I was just on that subject.
Yo, listen, man, we got about 5 minutes left, and real quick, man, before we let you get up out of here, man, we appreciate you for everything you've done for the hip hop culture, the dance hall culture, the go-go culture, man, just everything you've done. I saw last year, Let Me Clear My Throat is finally platinum.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God, man. My man sitting over here with the album. You know what I mean? He couldn't wait for us to do this. Like, cause man, we've been fans, man. And
thank you.
You deserve
Carolina, man, like particularly North Carolina, but South Carolina definitely played their part. As a matter of fact, my people on my mother's side, they from South Carolina. They from a place called Lancaster, South Carolina, and Cheraw, South Carolina, on my mother and them side. So I like to tell people I've been to just about every hog pen and chicken coop in North and South Carolina.
There we go.
Very familiar with the Carolinas. But nah, man, I've always appreciated my fan base coming from the Carolinas, you know what I mean? And here's another little fun fact. A lot of people that you know about in go-go, Chuck Brown is from the Carolinas. Chuck Brown's from Gaston, North Carolina. Sugar Bear, his people from the Carolinas. James from EU. James Funk from Red Essence, his people from, I think on his mother's side, are from the Carolinas. And so that's where we get that funk from, man.
Oh, man. Hey, look, man, that's crazy. Who knew? Who knew? This is what we do on the Zone Sports Podcast. We bring a legend on and let him just share game, and we can just soak it up, man. Yo, we got to make some noise for DJ Kool, man. We got to, man.
Thank y'all, man. I appreciate you. I'm working on a dance music project right now.
Okay.
And it's going to be all 90s inspired house and maybe like 70s, early 80s inspired disco music with a little bit of Jersey club, a little bit of Baltimore club, maybe a little gospel house in there. It's called DJ Kool's House Party Project.
When it's coming out? We got a date?
I want to drop the first single this summer. I'm thinking about dropping this song called Let's Go.
Well, let's go then. Hey, look, you can come back anytime.
And I won't even be on all of these songs. You'll hear my voice on some of them, but for the most part, I want to be able to kind of highlight what I do from a production standpoint. And I just want to get with other artists in the dance music space and maybe other producers in the dance music space. to kind of keep the dance music thing going too.
We need
Because
that.
I come from that era. In the beginning, real quick, from 77 to 79, before any recorded urban music came out, as far as at least our area is concerned, as a DJ from 77 to 79, I won't play nothing but disco and funk music. There was no go-go to play. It hadn't been recorded. There was no hip-hop to play. It hadn't been recorded and released till 1979. So
we got to get that DJ Kool and Wale, baby. You know what I mean? That's what we need, you know what I'm saying?
I would love to work with Wale, man. That's one of my ones, you know what I mean?
Man, listen, anytime, man, you welcome on this podcast, man. Please.
Thank you for coming on the show, DJ Kool.
Thank you,
man.
DJ
Thank
Kool,
you, man.
Thank you
so much. Go Carolina I hope Carolina make it to the Final Four, man. Come on, let's go. Stop playing.
Let's go.
Man, we're gonna try to get it done. DJ Kool, maybe.
Man, you know what? We gotta have you back to talk some sports next time too. You know what I mean? Let's do that. You know what I mean? Ladies,
I'm a Commanders fan, by the way. Well, really Redskins fan, but because the Commanders now, so yeah.
As long as it ain't the Cowboys, we cool, DJ Kool.
No.
DJ Kool, man, we'll appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? Yo, man. Yo, thank you so much, man, for coming on, bro.
Thank you for having me, and I apologize for the first time. I've just been ripping and running so much, and, sometimes my schedule get a little bit crossed up there, but I'm glad I was able to come on here and share some time with y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all's support.
Legends are worth waiting for, DJ Kool. It is all good over here, brother. No issues at all.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. Peace out, man. Enjoy your evening.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Peace. All right.
Yep.